Right, we're going to start off with Aaron Fentress with the Oregonian.
Damian, Coach Stotts talked yesterday about watching film, specifically the final 6 minutes of the night before, and saying you guys have to sustain that type of effort for the entire game. Seems like you guys did tonight. What was the difference for you guys? Defensively, sorry.
I just think that we came out sharper defensively. We took it to heart. We knew what we were capable of if we put a solid defensive effort together and was able to sustain it. We've had a couple opportunities to beat a team twice this season, and we haven't been able to do it. So I think we all understood that and had that in mind. And we defended, start to finish. And usually when we start to miss shots, when we make shots, I think we, have more energy and we defend a little bit harder and smarter. And then once we start missing, that's usually when the drop-off is. When the offense isn't going great, it kind of affects our defense. And tonight we didn't have that. When we were making shots, we defended hard. We were on a string. We communicated. And then even when the shots weren't falling, we was able to still get stops. We fouled, but we just had a presence defensively. And, we did our jobs. We communicated. We were active. And we sustained it for 4 quarters. I think it was, probably our best defensive effort for 48 minutes of the season.
Next question's coming from Soichi Hayashi with Yahoo Japan.
Congratulations tonight. Great game. You are symbol of Blazers. A day before yesterday, you wore marvelous Marvin Hagler shirt, right? What did you learn from marvelous Marvin Hagler? Why did you wear marvelous Marvin Hagler shirts the day before yesterday?
Well, I'm a huge boxing fan. I think that's
I know
something everybody knows right now. But Marvin Hagler was just a guy that was a blue collar worker. He earned everything that he received in the sport. Well respected in the sport for what he did in the ring and who he was as a man. And he recently passed away. So me being a huge boxing fan and me doing my homework on a lot of fighters, not just how many knockouts they have, how popular they were, just, how they approached the sport, how they approached their job. And I know he had a reputation for how hard he trained. It was evident in the way his body looked in the ring, his mentality in the ring. And he was well respected. And, I have a lot of respect for that. And, usually that's what it is with me. I become a fan of people when they're elite at what they do and they are solid people as well. And he was. So, in honor of him passing away recently, that was just me showing him some love on that night.
Next question is coming from Jamie Hudson with NBC Sports Northwest.
Dame, how physical is it to play this Pelicans team? Because obviously when you have a guy like Steven Adams, Zion, so just how do you describe the physical nature? And then how valuable, again, were Derrick Jones Jr. and Rocco tonight?
They are a really physical team. I think they have the makeup of a physical team, like you said, with Zion and Steven Adams and even Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball. They play a physical style, especially defensively. On offense, they lower their shoulder, they attack the rim, and they search for contact, and they just play a physical style. So they had the makeup, and they play that way, and I think it benefits them when they're playing their best. They're being a more physical team. So. It's tough to play with, when they have so many guys who can bring that to the table. But you just got to match it. You got to play a physical, aggressive game. Usually that's who gets the benefit of the doubt from the whistle. That's who usually controls the game, the more physical, more aggressive team. And I think we was able to do a good enough job in these last 2 games to pull it out.
Next question is coming from Casey Haldall with Trailblazers.com.
Hey, Dame, there was a moment there, it looked like you had an interaction with Stan Van Gundy. What was going on there?
After last game, I shot 18 free throws, and he was like, I saw that he said, you can't come within 3 feet of him. And tonight, I had only shot, I think 2 free throws at that point. And I was like, I walked over to him, and I was like, Coach, do I ever get fouled? Because every time, I went to the line, the second time I went to the line, he stood up and was with his hands up, nobody touched me. And it was probably the easiest one of the night. And we just kind of had to laugh about it. I just walked over and I was like, Coach, do I ever get fouled? And he was like, yeah, you do get fouled. And we just kind of, we laughed over it. It was nothing.
Cool. Thanks, Dame.
Next question's coming from Cristo Saltas with Sport DNA.
Hello, Dame. Congratulations on the win. How proud do you feel about the effort on defensive end tonight, and how feasible is to carry on that effort to the next games until the end of the season?
Can you say it again?
Yeah. How proud do you feel about the effort on defensive end tonight, about your teammates, and how feasible is to carry on that effort to the next games?
I'm really proud of what our team was able to do. It's really hard to beat a team twice, especially 2 times in a row like we played them, twice in 3 days. So for us to be able to make the adjustments from what we did the last 6 minutes of the first game and come out tonight and sustain it for 48 minutes is impressive. But we're a capable team. I think we're capable of being a good defensive team. We just don't sustain that level of focus and that level of intensity. The attention to detail, to being where we're supposed to be, being on a string is not easy to do. I think every team in the league is giving the effort and playing hard, but you got to have the mentality to go along with it. You got to be thinking, you got to be communicating, you got to know personnel, you got to know the scouting report, pay attention to details, you got to listen to calls. So much goes into being a good defensive team, and it's not an easy thing to do. So because it's not easy to do, it's hard to sustain it. It's hard to do it all the time. And I think that's where we struggle. We do it in spurts. And tonight was one of those times where we sustained it. We was able to do that on a level that we haven't this season. And it showed in the game that we played.
Last question's coming from Aaron Fentress with the Oregonian.
Dallas, Dallas has been playing a lot better since the last time you guys played them. Any impressions of them in this weekend series?
No, they're a tough team. It's still a young team, but they're very capable. I think they're one of those teams where if they get into the playoffs, nobody would want to play them. Just because they got so many guys who are capable. They can defend. They play physical. They can rebound. I mean, they're a very capable team, and it's a hard game every time you play against them. But they're still young. So for us being a more experienced team, I think playing smarter, understanding situations and understanding personnel and playing to the scouting report, I think we just kind of had that in our favor. But they're a tough match. They're a tough game. They got a lot of talent. It's a tough game every time you see them.
Thanks.